Hello, my dear heart. I'm so glad you're here, truly here, ready to take a gentle, powerful step toward the most sacred relationship you will ever have, the one with yourself. You may have heard me say it before, and I'll say it again with love. Loving yourself is the most powerful healing force in the universe. This is not just a phrase, it is a way of being, a way of thinking, a new language of inner truth. So what does it really mean to love yourself? It's not about ego. It's not about being self-centered or demanding. Loving yourself is an act of remembering that you are already enough, exactly as you are in this moment. It is choosing to meet yourself with tenderness rather than judgment. It is learning to speak kindly to the person in the mirror, even when they feel unsure or weary. It is creating space within yourself for grace to breathe. Let me share with you a gentle truth. Self-love is not a destination, it's a relationship. Just like any meaningful relationship, it requires nurturing, patience, and commitment. It isn't something you achieve and then forget. It's something you choose again and again every morning, every evening, in the moments when you stumble and in the moments when you rise. Just as a garden must be watered daily, your inner world flourishes when cared for with steady, loving attention. Can you feel that invitation? It's not a demand. It's a quiet whisper from your soul saying, "Please stay with me. Please be kind to me today." It's a sacred calling to reconnect with the parts of yourself that have longed to be seen, not just the strong or successful parts, but the soft, the frightened, the tired, and the tender parts too. Now let's pause and ask, when was the last time you listened deeply to your own needs without guilt? So often, we wait for others to validate us, to prove our worth, to fill the spaces we've abandoned. But you are the one you've been waiting for. No one can love you into wholeness if you have not yet allowed that love to grow from within. To love yourself is to stop abandoning your own heart. It's to stop looking outside for permission and begin offering that love inward. That's what healing truly is. Not perfection, but presence. It is not a checklist, it is a rhythm, a relationship that you rekindle every day. Let me explain something very gently. There is a difference between self-love and self-indulgence. Self-love is nourishment. It feeds the soul. It says, what do I truly need right now to feel safe, grounded, loved? It looks like resting when you are tired, speaking up when something hurts, saying no when it costs your peace. Self-indulgence often numbs, distracts, or postpones healing. One is rooted in awareness. The other is a response to avoidance. You might wonder, how have I been treating myself lately? Have you been patient? Have you been compassionate? Or has your inner critic been holding the microphone? That voice that says, you should be more, you're not enough, you messed up again. My love, that voice is not the truth of who you are. That voice is borrowed from fears, from past wounds, from people who couldn't see your light. Your inner critic is a learned voice, but your inner nurturer is your true self. You can choose to let the critic go. You can choose to speak to yourself as you would speak to a beloved child, a best friend, a wounded bird. With gentleness, with compassion, with honesty that heals rather than harms. Try this now. Place your hand gently over your heart. Feel that warm pulse. Feel life moving through you. Whisper, I am learning to be my own best friend. I am here for me, now and always. Then say it again and again, not because you need to convince yourself, but because your heart deserves to hear it over and over, until it becomes the most natural truth you know. You are not too much. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. And in this becoming, there is deep beauty, sacred unfolding, and the beginning of real love, the kind that never leaves, the kind that rises with you each morning and lays down with you each night, the kind that says, you are worthy, you always were. So stay with me as we walk this journey together, moment by moment, thought by thought, breath by breath. Let us tend to your heart as you would a cherished garden. Let us remove the weeds of shame and plant the seeds of kindness, curiosity, and grace, because you are worth it, because life loves you, and so do I. And the more you say yes to yourself, the more life will say yes to you in return. You are enough exactly as you are, and you are becoming even more of the beautiful truth you were always meant to be. Let's take a breath together. Inhale slowly and exhale with softness. There, that's better. Now let's open a gentle door, one you may have kept closed for far too long. This door leads to the sacred practice of self-forgiveness, and I want to begin with this truth. We cannot truly love ourselves while holding ourselves hostage to the past. We live in a world that teaches us to be hard on ourselves, to strive endlessly, to perfect constantly, to punish when we fall. But I want to offer you something different, something softer, something wiser. Have you ever paused to wonder why you carry the weight of guilt so tightly? As if clutching it would somehow undo the past or make you worthy of love now? My love, guilt is not a guidepost. Shame is not wisdom. Guilt blocks self-love the way thick clouds block the sunlight. And that beautiful healing light, it's always been within you, waiting patiently for you to part the sky. Many of us carry invisible wounds, don't we? Stories we've never told, mistakes we play over in our minds like an old film, harsh words spoken in pain, choices we made while simply trying to survive. I want to say this clearly and tenderly. You did the best you could with what you knew, with the awareness you had, and with the tools you possessed at the time. That's not making excuses. That's holding your humanity with compassion. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past. It liberates the future. To forgive is to stop punishing yourself for a version of you that didn't know better. It's choosing to pour love into the roots so your soul can blossom. It's rewriting the script that says you're not worthy and replacing it with truth. I am learning. I am growing. I am healing. Let me invite you into a tender moment. Close your eyes gently and picture the younger you. Perhaps you see a child version of yourself, or maybe it's you from a time when you were hurting and lost. Can you see the look in their eyes? That look of yearning, that unspoken plea for love and safety? Imagine placing your hands on their shoulders. Now say to them with full heart, I forgive you. I love you. You were always doing your best. Stay there a little longer. Let the embrace soften every hard place in you. So often we hold ourselves to impossible standards. We forget that wisdom comes with experience, not before it. You cannot blame yesterday's you for what only today's you understands. So what if, instead of judging the past, you decided to bring kindness to it? That is the sacred art of remembering with gentleness, because blame binds you, love frees you. Let's speak now of rituals, little acts that carry deep power. Each night before sleep wraps around you, place your hand over your heart and whisper, I forgive myself for not knowing what I didn't know. I choose to free myself with love. Let this become your lullaby. Let it echo into your bones. Let your subconscious receive this new message. I am not a prisoner of my past. I am the gardener of my healing. If that inner critic shows up, you know the one, the voice that says, you should have done better. Pause. Breathe. Place a hand gently on your cheek and respond. That's an old story. I'm writing a new one now. You see, forgiveness is like tending a tender garden. Each time you offer yourself grace, you pull a weed of self-blame. Each time you speak gently to your heart, you plant a seed of peace. Over time, that garden flourishes, and your soul begins to feel safe again. Remember this: love is who you are. Forgiveness is the way back to that truth. You don't have to wait until you're perfect. You don't have to prove anything. All you have to do is choose softness over shame. One breath at a time. You are not broken. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are human. You are becoming. And becoming is a sacred path. It is a dance of falling and rising, of hurting and healing, of forgetting and remembering that you are already whole. So I leave you now with this blessing, dear heart. May you treat the parts of you that still ache with deep tenderness. May you wrap your past in a blanket of grace. May you look in the mirror and see not a problem to fix, but a soul to love. Let me share something with you that I wish the whole world could whisper into every ear from the moment we are born. You do not have to earn the right to love yourself. You don't have to become someone else first. You don't need to achieve, perfect, or prove anything. Loving yourself doesn't begin after you change. It begins the moment you choose to stop turning away from yourself. It begins now. So many people come to me and say, Louise, how can I possibly accept myself when I still feel broken, lost, or behind? And I say this gently, with all the love in my heart, because it is the part of you that feels broken that needs your love the most. We are so used to withholding our own affection until we meet an invisible standard, but healing cannot grow in the soil of self-rejection. Self-acceptance is not about giving up on growth. It is about giving up on war. Imagine standing before a beautiful flower bud and saying, I will only love you once you bloom. It sounds unkind, doesn't it? And yet that's what so many of us do to ourselves. We delay love, we delay compassion, we delay rest, all waiting on some future version of ourselves that might never come. But when you choose to accept yourself here and now, as tender, as imperfect, as fully human, you become fertile ground for your own transformation. Let's get honest with ourselves for a moment, dear one. Most of us were taught to tie our worth to our productivity, our image, our achievements. But you are not your job title. You are not the number on the scale. You are not the shape of your body or the size of your house. You are a divine spark of life, radiant and worthy, even on the days when you feel messy or uncertain. Your existence is your permission to be loved. So I ask you this: what would it feel like to say yes to every part of you? Not just the polished parts, not just the parts that get praised, but the tender parts too. The ones that cry easily, that still carry old wounds, that are still figuring things out. Can you look inward and say, all of me is welcome here? We begin by gathering up the parts of ourselves we have hidden or pushed away. That small child who was told they were too loud or too sensitive. The teenager who didn't know how to belong. The adult who tried so hard to be perfect to avoid pain. Bring them all home. Welcome them back to your heart. Wrap them in warmth. Say, you are safe with me. I see you. I accept you. Unconditional self-acceptance means exactly what it says. No conditions. No more saying, I'll love myself when. Instead, say, I love myself now, especially now. This doesn't mean we don't strive or grow. It means we no longer shame ourselves as a form of motivation. Shame wounds, love heals. Repeat this with me, slowly and with care. I accept myself fully, right here and right now. I am whole, even as I grow. Let those words sink in like gentle rain. Let them soften the tension in your shoulders. Let them create space for your breath, for your softness, for your truth. You are not here to perform for love. You are here to receive it, especially from yourself. You don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to hold it all together. You don't have to fix everything. You only have to be honest, tender, and real with yourself. Remember this sacred truth. You are already enough, not because of what you've accomplished, but because you were born. Because life looked at the universe and said, what this world needs is you. And that has never changed. Let me offer you a little daily practice. Go to the mirror. Look deeply into your own eyes, those beautiful, soulful windows, and say softly, you're doing a good job. I see you. I honor you. I love you. Say it again and again until your inner child hears it, until your adult self believes it, until your heart relaxes into it. Let today be a soft return. Let every breath remind you, I am worthy. I am enough. I am loved unconditionally, and so it is. Like tending to a garden, self-compassion is not a one-time act. It is a daily devotion. You wouldn't water your plants once and expect them to thrive forever. In the same way, your heart, your soul, and your inner child need daily watering with gentleness, with kindness, and with care. You must become the most loving voice you hear each day. Many of us grew up with inner voices shaped by criticism, comparison, or unrealistic expectations. These voices often became so normal that we don't even realize they're not ours. So I want you to pause for a moment and ask, whose voice is guiding me right now? Is it love or is it fear? Because healing begins the moment you choose to shift that voice, to soften it, to make it more like the one you needed all along. Self-compassion means meeting yourself like a dear friend, especially in moments of pain. It's saying, of course you feel this way. Of course this hurts, and I'm here with you. It's the sacred art of being on your own side, not just when you succeed, but especially when you stumble. You become the witness and the comfort, not the judge and executioner. Imagine this. You are a small child who just fell down. Would you yell at that child? Or would you kneel beside them, hold them close, and say, it's okay, I've got you? That is what self-compassion looks like. And that is what you are learning to offer yourself. And you don't just do this once. You keep doing it every time you feel inadequate, overwhelmed, or not enough, because every single time you are still worthy of love. So how do we make this real? We begin with how we speak to ourselves. Words are seeds. The ones you plant today will shape the flowers or the thorns you live with tomorrow. So speak to yourself with words of kindness, not judgment. Try this. Instead of saying, I'm so stupid, say, I'm learning. Instead of, I messed up again, try, I'm human, and I'll try again tomorrow. And instead of, I can't believe I did that, whisper, I'm doing my best, and that is enough. Create little rituals that honor your humanity. Light a candle when you eat dinner to thank your body for carrying you through the day. Place your hand over your heart before sleep and say, I did my best today, and that is enough. Sip your morning tea slowly. Walk barefoot in the grass. Listen to music that reminds you of joy. These are not luxuries. These are love notes to your nervous system. Even 5 minutes of intention can shift your entire day. And perhaps most important of all, protect your energy as if it were sacred, because it is. That means saying no when you mean it, without apology. That means honoring your capacity, not your calendar. That means releasing guilt for resting, because rest is not laziness. Rest is a divine reset. This also means creating boundaries with people who drain your spirit. It means stepping away from conversations that leave you feeling small. It means giving yourself permission to disconnect from what depletes you and reconnect with what restores you. Because every time you protect your peace, you reinforce the message, I matter. As you continue this journey, I want you to carry this truth with you. You are allowed to be a work in progress and still love yourself completely. Not someday, not after you've improved. Now, right now. Say it with me softly. I speak to myself with kindness. I am gentle with my heart. And again, like a lullaby, I speak to myself with kindness. I am gentle with my heart. Feel how those words change the rhythm of your breath. Feel how your shoulders ease. Feel the love returning to your body, not from outside, but from within. Let every act of care be a declaration. I matter. My peace matters. My heart matters. This, beloved, is how we love ourselves, not in grand gestures, but in quiet moments of presence again and again and again. And when you forget, gently begin again. That too is love. Finally, let us arrive at the sacred truth that has been whispering to you all along. You are the mirror. You are the love. You are the teacher. When you choose to love yourself, not later, not when you are thinner, richer, calmer, but now as you are, you change the frequency of your entire life. You see, everything in your world responds to your vibration. If you wake up feeling unworthy, you will tolerate situations that reflect that feeling. But when you rise and say, I am worthy of love, I am enough just as I am, the universe, so wise, so responsive, echoes that truth back to you. You begin to draw in experiences, people, and moments that affirm what you have already decided to believe. You attract not what you want, but what you believe you deserve. And darling, I am here to remind you, you deserve so much more than scraps. You deserve love that is kind, words that are respectful, time that is present, and energy that nourishes. When you practice self-love, you're not being selfish. You're setting the tone for how others may enter your life. You're teaching them the language you speak, the language of care, respect, presence, and truth. People learn how to treat you by watching how you treat yourself. So I want you to imagine yourself as a radiant lighthouse. You don't go chasing ships. You don't shrink because someone cannot handle your light. You stand tall, you glow, and you trust that what is aligned with you will find you. There is such power in knowing you no longer need to beg for love, to perform for validation, or to dim your light to be accepted. When you love yourself, you stop settling, you stop chasing, and instead, you become magnetic. You embody what you once hoped to receive. You become the love you longed for. So how do we anchor this into our lives? Not just in theory, but in practice. Begin with this simple yet sacred ritual. Place your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and breathe. Not the shallow breath of stress, but the deep breath of someone returning home. Say aloud, slowly, deliberately, lovingly, I am worthy of my own love. I treat myself with deep respect. I radiate love, and love flows back to me in every form. Let those words wrap around your cells. Let them become your new truth. Say them in the mirror. Whisper them as you fall asleep. Write them on your bathroom wall. Tattoo them into your mind. Because this is how transformation happens. Not through force, but through consistent, tender remembering. And as you leave this moment, I want you to know you are not alone. The entire universe is on your side. Life loves you, and so do I. And now, as we come to the end of this beautiful journey together, I invite you to place your hand over your heart, gently, tenderly, and take a slow, loving breath. Let this be a moment of remembrance. You were never broken. You were never too much or not enough. Those were only stories told by a world that had forgotten how to see with loving eyes. But you, dear one, are remembering now. You are returning home, not to a place, but to yourself. You were born worthy. You were born whole. You were born with all the love you'll ever need already living inside you. What a miracle that is. If ever you doubt, whisper to yourself, I am love. I am light. I am safe. I am home. And repeat it as many times as needed until your nervous system softens, until your spirit says yes, until your inner child looks up and smiles. Keep being gentle with yourself. Keep showing up for your healing. Keep honoring your precious, sacred self. Now let the music carry you gently, like a soft tide of love. No need to think, just breathe, relax, and allow every word to settle into your body like warm sunlight on your skin. All is well, beloved.